What's going on, everyone? Welcome in. I am Charles. I'm with New Wave Digital Marketing. And today I'm going to be going through something that I think every single service business owner needs to understand. And whether you're in roofing, landscaping, plumbing, tattoos, cosmetology, if you're in a local service business, it doesn't matter. This is a blueprint that the top companies in your market are using to scale. And most of you don't even know that it exists. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing that nobody really wants to talk about is that you can be the best at what you do. You can have the best crew. You can have the best equipment. You could even have solid reviews. But if your phone isn't ringing, literally none of that matters, right? And you're going to have trucks that are sitting in the driveway. You're going to have people that are on payroll with nothing to do. And you're going to be stressed because you know that you can do good work, but the work coming in is not consistent. See, and that's not a skill problem. That's not something that's wrong with your abilities, right? That's just a marketing problem. That's a leads problem and a systems problem. And the reality is that marketing is the one thing that either makes your business grow or keeps it stuck exactly where it is. So we got to talk about how to fix it. So everything I'm about to show you is going to come down to these three things, right? These three pillars. One is that you need to drive leads. You need people finding you. Two is that you need to maximize conversion. When they find you, they need to actually pick up the phone or fill out a form. We need to convert these people. We need to convert that information, right? And then number three is you need to optimize your results. You need to know what's working, what's not, and where you should be putting your money for the best possible growth potential. And a lot of businesses are really only doing maybe one of these things, or they're trying to do these three, but they don't really know where to start. And from my experience, right, they just need to start doing all three of these things simultaneously. Once they start doing these things simultaneously, they see the growth happen, they see the scaling happen, but it is easier said than done. So let's break each one of these down for you. So when we're driving leads, let's start with the organic foundation. And when I say organic, I don't just mean like traditional SEO. While that is important, the game has changed. You've got SEO, which is showing up on Google and all the other major search engines, right? You've also got AEO, which is answer engine optimization, which is showing up when someone asks ChatGPT or Siri or Alexa a question. And then you've got GEO, generative engine optimization, which is showing up in AI generated search results. So there's a lot of things to consider when it comes to how you're driving your organic leads. But if you're not thinking about all three of these, I promise you, you're already behind, okay? Your Google business profile, your local citations, your content strategy, all of that feeds into whether or not the algorithm trusts you enough to recommend you to customers. And here's the thing. Organic traffic is the cheapest traffic that you'll ever get. So it's one of the best investments you can make as far as laying that foundation. It compounds over time, okay? But it does take work up front where unfortunately you might not see a lot of results immediately. But most people tend to skip it because they want the instant results. But the smart ones will build this foundation while also bringing in those instant results that they want. And that leads us into paid advertising. Okay. So let's talk about paid, because this is where most people get it wrong. They just kind of jump in willy nilly. They don't really know how to actually run ads or what each platform is for. And so they jump straight to Facebook ads or they throw money at Google without really understanding how to structure things properly, okay? So as a service business, the best thing that you want to do is think of it like a pyramid, okay? So at the base, you've got local service ads. These are the Google guaranteed ones. These are the highest intent leads that you can get, okay? And these are people that are literally searching for your exact service right now, okay? They're literally searching for your exact service right now. You want to be there first. Now, the next level up is going to be the Google search ads, okay? Now, that's going to be your traditional pay per click. It's still high intent and it's still people that are actively looking for what you do, but you can be a bit more precise than what Google local service ads requires, okay? Now, next up, you've got retargeting, okay? So you've got these people who are reaching out to you. There are people who have already visited your website and didn't convert. By retargeting them, by setting up the tools that allow you to retarget them with your advertising, you get to follow these people around the internet and stay top of mind no matter what you do. Okay. And then at the top of mind, right, you've got social ads. That's going to be Facebook, Instagram, etc. Right? These are interruption based. These people aren't actively looking for you, but you put your business in front of them and say, hey, we have a service. And they think to themselves, I might need that. And what'll happen is they might go ahead and convert right there on Facebook, or what they might do is Google your company or look you up using AI or something like that, right? So that's why it's so important to have that retargeting in place, and why it's so important to have all of these areas dialed in, because whether or not we realize it or not, all of these advertising strategies are connected. And once you put them together in an effective way, you're going to be able to work from the bottom up and start growing your business in a way that scales predictably. Now, next one here, this is my favorite because it's literally free money, okay? It's database reactivation, okay? You've already gone through the process of attracting a person, okay? Every service business has past customers, people who hired you once, had a great experience, and then you never talk to them again. Database reactivation is simply reaching out to those people, whether it's an old lead, an old customer, whatever. You use text message campaigns, you use email sequences, something that says very simply, hey, it's been a while, we're running a special this month, or hey, it's that time of year again, you need us to come back out and take a look at some things. I've helped businesses generate tens of thousands of dollars in a single week just by texting their old lead list. There's no additional ad spend, there's no new leads coming in. You're just activating the people who already know and somewhat trust you. And if you're not doing this at least once a month, you are leaving money on the table, because there are active customers in that list, I promise you. Now, let's get into maximizing conversion, okay? So now that you've got everything situated and you're driving traffic, people are finding you. But here's where a lot of businesses blow it. They send all their traffic to a website that really doesn't convert well. Your website is not a brochure. It's not just there to look pretty. It's actually a sales machine. And there are three things the website absolutely must have in 2026. Number one is a phone number that is clickable on mobile. You would think it sounds obvious, but a lot of businesses do not have this, and they bury the phone number to where a person has to actively click around and search for it instead of just getting into their phone, going to your website, clicking a button, and getting on a call with you. So you want to make it very easy for them to call in. Now, number two, you want to have online scheduling. People don't always want to call, okay? They don't necessarily want to leave a voicemail. They just want to book an appointment at 11 p.m. on Tuesday from their couch. And if you don't offer that, it's likely that you have a competitor that does, and those people are likely going to work with that competitor because they are the sort of business that they prefer to transact with. People that are not holding them hostage with phone calls, text messages. They just want to book it and keep it going. All right. Give people the ability to do that. Now, number three is going to be a two-way text or chat. We live now in a text-first world. Okay. So if someone can message you directly from your website and get a response in seconds, your conversions are going to go through the roof. Okay. So if your site isn't really nailing these three things, it doesn't matter how much traffic you send to the website. You're basically pouring water into a bucket that has holes in it, dude. Now, next we want to get into speed to lead. That's one of the most important things here, okay? This is the one that separates the businesses that are making 30K a month from the ones that are making 100K a month. Now, the data is clear. There's all sorts of studies all over the place, but 78% of jobs go to whoever responds first. It's not going to be whoever is the cheapest, not necessarily whoever has the most reviews. It's whoever picks up the phone first. That's it. So what happens when a lead comes in at, say, 2 a.m. or when you're working and you're not able to answer the phone? If the answer is nothing, that means you're losing opportunities every single time a lead comes in that you aren't able to communicate with. And that's where you need to focus on automating a lot of that communication, right? The second someone fills out a form or sends a message, they should be getting an instant text back. Hey, we got your message. We'll have someone call you in the next few minutes, or etc., right? That alone is going to double your close rate. And then if you layer in a follow-up sequence where on day 2, day 4, day 6, day 7, etc., right? Most leads are not going to convert on the first touch. They need 5, 6, 7 follow-ups before they're ready. So if you're giving up after only one call, you're leaving like 80% of your revenue on the table. So you have to have a follow-up sequence in place to really drive your numbers and make that advertising worthwhile, because of course running ads and getting leads in can be expensive if this isn't done right. Now, last piece, you got to know your numbers, okay? One of my mentors loves to say data, not drama, okay? So you have to know your numbers, and I don't mean I think we're doing okay. I mean, you need to know exactly what you're spending, exactly what you're getting back, and exactly where each lead is coming from. Your cost per lead per channel, your close rate by source, your revenue per customer, the lifetime value of those customers. If you don't know these numbers, you're guessing, and guessing isn't going to scale. So here's a general framework I want you to kind of keep in mind. If you're spending 5% of your revenue on marketing, you're likely just maintaining visibility. You're not really growing, you're just sort of keeping the lights on. 6 to 15%, that's moderate growth. That's where you're going to see that steady improvement, and that's where a lot of people start to make their mark. We suggest at least 10%, but obviously that's up to you, right? Now, 15% or more, these are the business owners that are going to see rapid and accelerated growth. And that's how you go from maybe $500,000 to $1 million in a year, by just being aggressive with your marketing efforts and dialing things in. But again, key here is that you can only spend aggressively when you know your numbers. When you know that every dollar you put in gives you 5 back, spending more isn't scary. It's really just math, okay? So I want to give you a real example from a client that we worked with, right? Now, this is J&D Landscapes. Now, when they came to us, they were doing about $320,000 a year. They were a good company. They were a good local company. They did great work, but they were stuck. They were relying on a lot of referrals. They didn't have a strong system in place. And we implemented this blueprint into their business for them, right? And everything was in there. We did the organic foundation. We did paid ads at every level of the hierarchy, speed to lead, website conversion, everything, right? The first year working with us, they were able to scale to 850K. And right now, this year, they're on track for 1.6 million. It's the same crew, it's the same owner, it's the same market. The only thing that changed was the system behind the business. And that's the point. It's not about, am I working hard enough? It's about building infrastructure that brings the work to you consistently. And that's what me and my team do at New Wave Digital Marketing. So what I want to offer you here is basically everything that I just showed you. You can implement a lot of this stuff on your own. Seriously, you could go and build out those service page. So you could set up the local service ads. You could fix your website speed. You can put an autoresponder in place on all the forms. All of it works, right? But if you want someone to actually take a deep dive into your business, your specific market, your specific location, right? And map out exactly where the gaps are and where the opportunity is, me and my team will do that for you for free, okay? So there's going to be a link somewhere, or there's going to be a form below this video, depending on where you're watching it. You're going to go ahead and fill out a quick form just telling us about your business, giving us some details. And me and my team are going to do a massive deep dive on your digital presence, how quickly you communicate with customers, everything in between, website analysis, speed, SEO analysis, advertising analysis, etc. And we'll audit your online presence, look at what your competitors are doing, and show you exactly where the opportunities are. So there's no deep sales call, there's no pressure. We're just going to create a custom video for you showing you the plan. And if you want us to build it after that, that's cool. And if you don't, you can just take it and run with it yourself. That's fine too. So go ahead, fill out the form. Let's get to work. I'm excited to see your business grow. I've been Charles. I'm with New Wave Digital Marketing. We'll see you on the next one.